For the past few days, I've been creating a webtoon page strip from scratch using the digital HB method. It has really improved my drawing speed, precision, and efficiency. And in this video, I will show you how I created a webtoon page from start to finish, my webtoon creation process. Please stick till the very end because I will also share some very important tips on how to manage your time and be productive. Okay. 1. Ideation and script. The first step to creating any great comic or webtoon is the story. Now, you must have a story, even if it's just a brief idea. No, you need your whole story fleshed out in some way. For example, my story Kaiju Cloud, the broad idea is already drafted out. I know how the plot and how the story moves forward, but I'm still able to make adjustments in each episode depending on what I'm feeling would be best. In the future, I will talk about how I created my story and what story creation system I used. I won't spend too much time on each point. Moving on. 2. Storyboard. I created the storyboard for episode 1 on paper so that it would feel more natural and quick. Note, I actually drew the storyboard late December time 2024. That was before I discovered digital HB method. I didn't record any of it, but does it really matter? Let's move on. The sketch phase was very quick. I mostly drew straight ahead because my storyboard was already detailed. I just did some adjustments to the proportions to get it right. I don't know if I'm the only one that gets this feeling, but sometimes my webtoon, especially in its sketch phase, looks like garbage. Maybe if we keep up the process, the end product will look better. After completing the sketch, I moved on to the inking phase. This part was also quick. I made sure to vary line weight and thickness to make things look dynamic. This was my first time actually applying line variation. I even tried out some hatching. Yeah, it looks great so far. After sketching and inking the whole webtoon episode for a week, the next week I moved on to coloring and rendering. Here I added the colors as usual, but then it started looking like flat garbage. But then our savior arrived. It was time to render. Here I did the shading and rendering. Now this style is not the usual webtoon cell shading. It's my style, I think, but I am much more comfortable with this style. Then I added a few filters. I also made sure that the speech bubble were on point. Now, webtoon page requirement is 800 by 180 pixels, but this page strip is 800 by 6400 pixels. What are we going to do? You can use a site like copy.com to chop up the pages under webtoon requirements. And there we have it, 5 webtoon panels created in under 8 hours. And that's my webtoon creation process with the digital HB method. It's a simple, beginner-friendly method. It's cheap and affordable, and anyone can get started with it. If you've had any experiences on how it turned out, let me know in the comments down below. Now, some tips for time management. Don't draw on impulse. Have a drawing schedule. Pick out time in your day to draw your webtoon. Once that time elapses, stop drawing and do something else. Get up, touch grass, drink water, do something else. You can also use the Pomodoro method. Work for 25 minutes, then take 5 minutes break. Next, think about what type of references you might need for the next webtoon page you're drawing, let's say the next day. Then look for the references overnight so that when it's time to draw the next day, you can focus on the drawing. Not only that, it saves time, but looking for references on Pinterest, especially while working, is very distracting and annoying. So yeah, but what if you are a very busy person, or you are in college, or you are preparing to get into college? My next video will point out some tips on how to cope with and balance your activity if you are a webtoon artist who is currently preparing for Webtoon Legends 2025. My next video will be very informative and a bit encouraging, maybe inspiring. So subscribe and watch any of the other videos on the screen. Bye.